The views and opinions expressed in the following program are those of the hosts and guests, and not necessarily those of the staff or management of Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Corporation.
When my girl got the sweetest pussy.
Hey, welcome to SinCityBounty.com. It is episode 365.
Full circle, motherfuckers.
If we had done a show every single day instead of for 7 years, we'd be at 365.
Mm-hmm. So we have done a year full of shows.
We have done a year full of shows in the 7 years we've been doing the show.
Mm-hmm. I have only been here since 200. 199.
That's not bad. Aside from the two of us, that's the longest any other host has been on.
Yeah.
I'm like that thing that won't go away. I'm like that, that bump you got on your ass and you're like...
You were like an inoculation. That's what you were. You were a shot at the doctors that kind of breathed some, living back into us.
You were our anti-syphilis shot.
Yes.
Yes. Hear that, guys?
For all your anti-syphilitic needs, see Toxi.
So how was your week, ladies?
Fine off the mic, motherfucker.
We are full on into 2018 now. It is the 9th, which means you've had 9 days of the new year. How do you think the year's going to be for you?
Well, if it's any indication, I almost walked out of my job on Friday.
Oh my gosh.
Or no, was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. I almost walked out.
Yeah?
Or maybe it was yesterday.
New year, time
no,
for
it was
a
Friday.
change?
I can't remember what it was because the weekend went by so fucking fast. But yeah, I almost walked out on Friday.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I was a sexual slur was used against me in a derogatory manner.
By a coworker?
By a coworker in a management position. And if my direct supervisor had been there, I would have quit on the spot. Because I won't quit just by walking out without my managers there. I'm at least going to let them know why I'm fucking quitting.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I waited till they came back from lunch. By then I was calmed down, and I didn't quit. And she came back to talk to me and was like, so I heard there was a little bit of a dust up on it. I'm like, no, Linda. I almost walked the fuck out of this building. Sorry, I used her real name. Not really. And I told her, I understand that I wasn't given the management position back here. But if that man is my manager, I'm packing all my shit in this box right here, and I'm walking out this door right now. She's like, no, no, no. And I'm like, because, no, this is not the first or the second incident we've had where he has an attitude. I will not be treated like that again, where I will pack my shit and I will walk out, and you can bet a harassment suit will follow me.
That's what I was going to say. You could always just do the harassment suit without quitting.
I still think I can, and I might. I'm brewing on it for a little while just to make sure.
Did this person handle it in the right manner?
I have not received a formal apology, and I don't know if this other person got written up. And I doubt that they will be written up because he's fucking my direct manager.
So let me just jump in from an HR standpoint. Have you documented the incident?
Yes.
Okay.
All
And
of them.
is it documented just with you personally or
Just
with
me.
HR as well?
Well, HR is my direct supervisor, and
So-
she is the one banging this guy. They're married. Well, they're not really married. They wanted to be married, but then he got sick, so they didn't get married.
Okay. So, yeah, as long as you're documenting it, and even if another great idea, if you could email it to yourself on your work email, just so there is a timestamp that shows you didn't go back to your notebook and say this and this and this happened, at least get that.
I think you should put your video camera on quick button.
I unfortunately don't walk around with my phone in my hand when I'm at the office.
I know.
And this happened outside of my actual physical office, out in the middle of the warehouse.
And if it's admissible, depends. I don't know about this state.
Yeah.
But if she records someone,
No, you have to tell them you're recording them in this state.
but at least start to document and timestamp it back to yourself.
And I also went back and printed out all of the emails that clearly stated what my job was. And there is the addendum she added in there. You may be asked to do things that are outside of your scope. And I'm like, that is correct. But that does not mean you get to pick other people to do my job while I'm here to do my job. Which was one of the biggest problems that was happening, is that this guy was doing my job and has made such a fucking clusterfuck mess of what he's done. And now that every time I approach him about it, he gets very hostile towards me. Very aggressive, very hostile. And I'm kind of at the point where the president wants to have a meeting with us, all of us, to sit down and have a meeting. And I'm going to tell him straight out, I will not be talked to or treated in this manner anymore. If these are my job and are my responsibility, then no one else gets to make changes to that except my immediate supervisor. Because there have been twice now incidents where he's come back and made a change to something I've done because that's his choice to make. I'm making the choice to do this. I'll take the hit for it. But like, I don't think you fucking understand, dude. This is not your job. Not even your fucking department. Keep your hands out of it. I know you used to handle all this shit, but you retired and then you got rehired and now I'm in charge of it. Keep your fucking hands off it. If I fuck it up, I fuck it up.
I know you, and you actually didn't say that to him.
No.
You were very diplomatic. I know how you are in that kind of situation. No call. I know that you have given him no call to call you an expletive.
A warehouse lady. A fucking warehouse lady. You goddamn right I am, motherfucker. So listen to me and listen to me good. I didn't say that, but...
So even with the work issue, with work being shifted over and taken from you, document that as well.
Oh, I will.
Again, email it back and timestamp it.
I have. Well, see, the thing is a lot of this has happened in the past, and I didn't document that stuff.
So you have to do it moving forward.
Yeah. This last one, and, you know, I do keep a kind of semi-written record of what
Do you have the last couple, this one and the last one, did you report those kind of, at least?
This last one did, but not the one before it, because, I mean, I did send a semi-snarky email, but...
Yeah, so don't send snarky emails.
Well, see, it wasn't semi-snarky.
Time and date stamp it, and then I spoke with XYZ at...
It was more like XYZ got shipped, but it was shipped in this manner, using tools we should not have used to ship it, per person's name.
Okay, so keep that one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just send them back. And
to me, that's business snark. When I say per someone's name, that's a fucking snarky business email. That's because some motherfucker told me to, not because I wanted to, because a bitch told me to. That's my professional version of this bitch said.
So this is a huge benefit for me of working alone. I have no one in the office other than my cat to get angry with. However, like you, I'm having a shitty work time and lost just a shit ton of money today. Like a shit ton of
Lost
money.
it?
How?
Lost it.
What happened?
Gambling?
No,
down at
I
the
don't
station
gamble
casinos
it.
or something?
I don't gamble it based on the type of work I do. It's, without going into specifics, it's commission based.
Got it.
And so money I've received has to now go back. And
Oh,
it is a
no.
lot of money. So it's
Why
not a
does
good
it have
day.
to go back?
It's based on the terms of the way the commission's written. We'll say.
See, somebody
Not
needs to
anything I
write-
did. Nothing I did wrong.
Well, then why are you being punished for something?
It's how it works in
That-
my...
That should not be. It should be, if they cut you the check, it is in good faith that money is yours. They should never take that money back.
They should never, but
They're a bunch of cocksuckers.
should
go.
is one of those words. So I'll join the queue here, and I'm having business problems as well.
Nice.
which means I'm not getting paid for things that I'm supposed to be doing. I did send, it wasn't snarky, but it was, the reason I haven't made your changes is because I have
You owe me
yet
some
to be
motherfucking
paid.
money.
So
people pay.
Bitch better have my money.
although I think it's going good, except for the fact that, you know, I've got $2 and change in my pocket book.
Well, I had lots. It looked good. I was like, I'm gonna be catching up on some good bills. I already started, but so mine will be looking like yours.
We're lamenting
Lamenting
our new year so far.
Oh yeah, Jaspy said, usually after the holidays when you go back to work, coworkers are saltier than an appetizer sampler from Buffalo Wild Wings, which I love Buffalo Wild Wings. So now I'm going to focus on that.
I've never been there.
Really? They have these little
Ask me if I want to go.
play.
Ask me if I want to go. No.
Why?
I'm just not interested.
They have boneless buffalo wings. It's
Yeah,
baseballs.
I don't eat stuff with bones.
I can go to pretty much any bar in Vegas and they have wings.
No, they
Not
got
as
shit
good as
wings.
this,
They don't
yeah.
got Buffalo Wild
That's not
Wings
always
wings.
true.
Buffalo Wild Wings is a whole different story, girl. So
Hell
I have
yes.
something to share.
Okay.
Do you all mind if I
No, please do.
take a few moments? I do have something that's been super, super exciting going on. All right. So I participated in an ancestry test. And some people know and some people don't. My friends know. I don't. I didn't have a relationship with my father or his side of the family. I actually
Did you know who he was?
No, not until I was in my 20s. And at the point...
Is this the one with the farm?
No, that's the person I refer to as my father is the man who raised me.
Okay.
And he raised me since I was 3, so he gets the dad title.
He totally counts.
But the father that I had, I didn't actually look into until I was in my late 20s, and at the point that I did, he had been, at the time I looked, he had been dead 2 years. So I never got to meet him. I really knew nothing about that side of the family. So I did the ancestry thing. And first off, I will share that all my life I've been told that basically I'm just all German. That it was known from my father's side that I'm German, and my mother's side is all German. And I would like to share with you what I really am. It's not German.
I would like you all to know that she does not use folders on her phone and must scroll 85 times to get to whatever it is
do.
she's looking for.
I set up, because you've razzed me for that, I set up folders. Only now I can't find the stuff in the folders.
That's why you put all the like stuff together. Like all social media stuff goes in one folder.
I have a very hard time.
I will organize it for you. This is what I get paid to do.
Here we go. It turns out I am 94.2% European, which breaks down primarily I'm British and Irish.
Oh, my sister.
Right. Along much lower is French and German. Some Scandinavian, some broadly Western European, but the highest amount is British and Irish.
Wow. Can I ask what the percentage is?
73.3% European.
No, I meant British and Irish. Did it tell you?
29.4. It's the majority out of the rest.
Okay.
You are
30%?
1/3 Irish.
One of them. I
It's-
guess
it's
they're in the
Irish.
same.
Or both.
Explain. They're in the same homogene something.
What percentage is the German?
It's together with French at 17.1. And it's mainly from my mother's side. My father's side is mainly the British and Irish. And I'll tell you in a moment how I know this. But, guys, that's 94.2%.
Super white.
Except for 5%. 5%, I am African. I am. And I have to tell you, my daughter, when she knew I was doing this, she kept saying, please let us be part African. Like, please, I want to be part African.
So it's most likely you're North African.
No.
No?
I am sub-Saharan African, which encompasses, the main part is West African. And then...
You're a motherfucking Kenyan.
And then Middle Eastern and North African is 1%. mainly out of that North African. Then I have less than 1%, like a 0.1% East Asian and Native American, and then 0.7% unassigned.
Alien DNA.
So that's what we've concluded, that I'm part alien. And I feel the part that I'm alien is my vagina.
Her 0.7% vaginal fluid.
My vaginal area, pure alien, boys. Pure alien. So we decided.
We're going to find her in the Star Wars cantina.
I am. I'm going to be telling dudes, like, listen, I'm part alien.
Spinning her purse.
And her butt is where all the African went, just so
Yeah,
you all know.
that's all.
She got Laquandra's booty.
It's all back there. So we previously all have names for our vagina, and mine was...
Before we get started on that, how astounded were you to find out that you were not German, number one, and that you had African in you, number two?
She's had a little African in her.
Well, first, I'll tell you, I was surprised it wasn't a different nationality. Because I assumed I would have gotten that via injection. But anyway...
Hispanic.
I was a little surprised. I'm like as white can be, and I realize, you know, there's different areas within Africa, but yeah, I was pretty stoked.
Is your daughter excited that she can claim what 2.5%?
Yeah, she's trying, like, what percent is that? Like, do I get to claim it? So it makes her 2.5%.
I asked her if that was enough percentages for her to claim a minority status.
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, the minority percentage of you is your
to,
minority.
To be able to get any kind of Native American help or whatever from the government, it's got to be at least 20%, I believe. So, so if they go by those standards, then no.
I want to get this test done.
There's also in the U.S. there's called a standard that we use only here called like a drop of something.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a drop of it, like, you can claim it. But I don't know. I mean, I realize I'm not going to, you know.
No one is going to
double-check
take you
boxes.
serious when you show up and say,
Right.
I'm part African.
Right.
Unless you can do like that one lady who pretended to be African to be
Just go tanning and get a
that's
perm.
horrible.
Lisa
That woman's
Dozel,
horrible.
whatever that. I know.
She is a horrible,
Yes,
horrible,
please don't do that. Yeah.
horrible individual. And no, I would never use to claim it. I obviously don't get the repercussions that many do face. And so I would never, you know, claim to have any understanding.
Was there a reason that you picked ancestry.com as opposed to like 23andMe?
Well, it is 23andMe. I
Oh, it
actually
is.
did 23andMe, and I participated in a study, which was part of it, and then it gave me the results. So an amazing thing kind of happened. You get to look at your DNA family and who you match with. And I matched with a first cousin that I did not know. And so
Match?
like we're first cousins.
Oh.
No,
So
that's an
our-
Alabama kind of match.
Yeah, no. My time in Alabama was very brief, people. Very brief. Like, nothing much happened there. But, you know, it'll have first cousins, and then the rest of the list is like second, third, fourth, fifth, and I'm like, I don't even know who these people are. I've never heard of them, but the first cousin I was excited about. And it turns out the first cousin is my birth father's sister's son. So he's a genuine, like, first cousin.
So this is taken from everybody who has done the ancestry.com
Yes.
or 23andMe. They've
Yes.
got a
There's a
compiled
database
list,
somewhere,
right?
yes,
And so
yes.
they can hook you up.
They can hook you up, and you get to share your background. So when I shared, I got to see, like, the African, not from my father's side at all. So I call my mom up, and I'm like, "Hey, Mom!" And so I reached out to this cousin, and we've been chatting, and it turns out, he's this super good-looking physician who's also a firefighter. I'm like, yeah. I'm good too. Pretty successful, man. I'm not telling you what I do. Just we'll go with pretty successful.
Independently wealthy, and I can't talk about it.
I'm like, it's Vegas, man. What do you think? Like,
Okay, so I'm very sorry that I took you off the track of your vagina, but let's get back on
yeah.
that.
So going back to my vagina, I feel I need to rename it. So Sierra already gave an idea,
I did.
and Sierra's idea was the Venusian.
The Venusian.
Venusian.
Because that is the name for an alien species that would originate on Venus, and Venus is the goddess of love. The Venusian.
Oh, with an S. Venusian.
It's
Instead of
pronounced-
like Venetian.
It's pronounced both ways, but it's spelled with an S. So Venusian.
So Venusian. If you can, did you see? I can't
You can
pronounce that
handle
word.
arterial sclerosis.
That was back when I was talking about eating wings at bars.
Oh, got it. I'm a little late on this.
Listen.
I have a suggestion.
Yes.
E.T.
For what?
eats tacos.
Eats tacos.
Yes, but my vagina doesn't eat tacos.
Oh.
It's a taco that gets it.
So T-E.
I think you should
Taco
go.
eat.
No, it's
I
an
think you
et
should
taco.
go with
Et.
Venusia as opposed to Venusian.
No, you could do Venusia.
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 If you're gonna go with something like that,
The problem is I have to be able to pronounce it.
just don't call it Uranus.
Uranus.
It's Uranus. Uranus.
So your anus for the rest of us.
Your anus is a crusty little brown hole. Uranus is a planet.
Hashtag crusty brown hole.
There you go. I'm here for your entertainment.
For those of you watching live on Facebook, if you have any suggestions for an alien name for Toxi's vaginal area, please let us know what they are.
We're accepting all applications. Please submit them before the end of this show. Because I don't read the comments afterwards.
I would say blue box, but then I would never be able to watch Doctor Who again.
Yeah, because every time they were like, get in the blue box, I'm like, I'd like to.
Do you know of Doctor Who? Are you a Doctor Who
I
fan?
don't watch
It's
it.
a
but I know-
Vardis.
I know the box.
Vajardis?
Vajardis. I would be okay with that. I wouldn't think of the TARDIS as your vagina every time you said it.
Vajardis. It's bigger on the inside.
Be like, you want to check out my Vajardis? I mean, this would be perfect if I'm going for like the nerdy guys. They'll totally get it.
Tim says the Toxic Avenger.
Not quite what we were going for.
I mean, it sounds like
I mean, it could be the Silver Surfer too, but
Ooh, I like
I
that.
don't know what that is.
it's a superhero who's from outer space, the Silver
Yes,
Surfer.
Oh.
and he's all silver and he glides on a surfboard.
Oh, you can glide in.
That's what
so
I'm
kind
thinking.
of.
That would kind of work.
The Silver Surfer. Come on in, baby. I don't know. What was his catchphrase? I don't know the Silver Surfer that well.
Me either.
I just know that he was a bad guy, and then he wasn't, and then he was again, and I don't know where he is now.
We can go with that.
I like Venusia. I'd like you to meet Venusia. Who's Venusia? My alien vagina.
0.7% alien, baby.
5% African. If I take this test, it's going to come back 100% white motherfucker. Like, that would be...
Well, that's what I expected.
You did not expect a full 5% African. Like, I can understand, like, 0.2 or something like that, because then it's just, like, that's the stuff that just got left over when we all left Africa.
Right.
But 5% is, like, you had an African ancestor somewhere.
Yeah.
Do you know about your American history? Like, was anybody in your past part of the founding father coalition of people, or
AKA slave owners?
Yeah.
No, they actually came over from Germany.
They migrated?
Yeah.
Well, there were slave owners over there too, so.
Well, maybe they did there. I'm not aware. Just that we're here.
William says Missy.
Missy.
Missy is the new bad guy. He is the master. He is the master in Doctor Who. He's like the arch nemesis of Doctor Who.
Well,
Missy.
my vagina can be the arch nemesis of...
You don't want your vagina to be anyone's arch nemesis.
Oh, no.
You got problems already, girl. Don't be adding that onto it, too. See, at least mine's based on the goddess of love, for fuck's sake.
Mine's closed. What's the alien term for closed?
Depends on the language you're talking about. Let me look it up in Klingon. Hold on.
Eep up or...
Oh, Klingon would be... Oh, no. That brings up a bunch of different connotations, Klingons.
Princess Labia, General Orgasmo.
And General Orgasmo. I like both of those. Who came up with those?
Tim.
Slim Tim.
No,
Vendetta.
Oh, sorry, I missed the rest of it. Klingon.
Do you plan on... so, for those of you who are interested, 23andMe or Ancestry.com, since they're the same, these tests, they're always on sale, but I think at max price, they're like $99.
Yeah, something like
but
that.
I've seen them on sale for $69, and
You
think
you
that's
wait
the
forever.
cheapest.
Like, it's so awesome. They mail the box to you. You spit in a cup, like a little stick thing. You spit in it. You're like... Puh, puh, puh. You have to fill up the lines so much, so you really got to work your spit up. That wasn't a problem.
No chewing gum to help the process?
No chewing gum,
Right.
nothing.
Or else you're going to have, you're from Wrigley.
Yes, exactly. You're part
Dentine is your
saffron or
homeboy.
something, yeah. So then you mail it back, and then you wait a long time, but you can watch the process. So I got to watch when they received it, when they were separating the sample, and you watch
What do
a
you
lot
mean,
of
watch it?
videos.
Oh.
You don't actually watch it. Do you ever get Domino's and watch the tracker where it says they received your order and they're
Oh, I
preparing
do it
your
all the
pizza?
time. Hell yeah.
So it's like the Domino's tracker, but with
It's
your
the
DNA.
spit tracker.
And so it goes through and it tells you like when they're separating it and putting it on the chip. And you can watch a video and it shows you like the exact process that it goes through.
Are you going to let your daughter get hers done as well, so she can
Oh, she
see?
wants one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially after going through all of this.
I remember watching when this became a thing for regular, everyday, average people. They did a special on PBS
Yes.
with a bunch of movie stars and famous people and got their DNA taken, which was very cool.
There is also, so under Ancestry for this one, you have your composition, your DNA family, my maternal haplogroup, and Neanderthal ancestry.
You got some Neanderthal in you? We all should.
Yeah, we all should. And I do. And it says how much more you have than other customers. And then there's a paternal haplogroup, but you only get that if you're a dude. If you have a penis, you get it. There's a carrier status report, genetic health risk report. And in order to go through some of those, you have to click on something. So, like, it will tell you if you have the variant for late onset Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease. And they want you to be sure that you really want that information. So, that
Did
was
you
all.
go look at yours?
I did. I went through the thing and I did mine. So, I don't have the variant detected. That one surprised my daughter because she said I forget everything, so she was pretty sure that one was going to come up. And it didn't. And it tells you if you have a slightly increased risk for certain things, like celiac disease, I have a slightly increased risk. And then it tells you how many of the genetic variants you have for that. So it's pretty awesome.
The higher the amount of variants you have, the more likely?
Each one varies. Like, for example, this one, I believe you have to have 2 of the variants, and I only have 1, which is why that one says slightly increased risk. There's another one for, like, age-related macular degeneration, which I had one of the variants. So it said variant detected, not likely at increased risk, because I didn't have the other variants that are normally found there. So it's pretty awesome. It tells you what you're predisposed for.
Have you decided on any life changes because of the information that you found out? Like if celiac disease is the same as celiac disease is what people get when they're looking for the gluten-free stuff.
Right.
So have you? Since
No,
you have a variant?
because I have the variant, but I don't have missing the other part. It's possible, and I have not changed anything based on that thus far. And most of these other things, which I actually had some concern about, no variant for any of them, including Lee syndrome, French Canadian type. Totally worried about, no, I didn't know what that was. Limb girdle muscular dystrophy.
If you are already a hypochondriac, maybe you shouldn't do this
Yeah, don't
test.
do it. And I wasn't, this one I was surprised. I did not have the variant for maple syrup urine disease, which I didn't know was the thing. But I don't got it, so.
Oh, of course William would know what it is. Pooch paw.
What's pooch paw?
That's your name for your Klingon vagina.
Oh. I don't know what it
I
is.
think you should go with general orgasma, because if you can call anything a general, that would be it.
Uh-huh.
Captain, general, admiral.
I like Princess Labia.
That one's cool too.
All right,
If you're
so
into the princess thing.
Well, I mean, I'm into
She did
being
wear
a pillow
frozen eye
princess.
makeup last week.
Yeah,
She
I have
did.
some on now, except I went with gold. It's my new thing.
See?
Speaking of,
Princess Labia, the frozen princess.
pretty accurate.
I don't know.
Pretty accurate.
But you don't want to be frozen, right? You want to be unfrozen. You want to be more in the mix.
She'd like to have her pipes cleaned, y'all. She needs a plumber.
You can always hang a sign from your...
I don't need a sign. I have plenty of offers.
So stop being so picky.
So speaking of offers,
Chimney sweep needed.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. Her vagina's is lucky, and you can be too.
speaking of vaginas and turning down offers, we went to the sex club, y'all.
What? We did go to the sex club.
We did. We went to the studios on Saturday.
I was on purse and shoe duty all night. I was wandering around up behind all these bitches, picking up their shoes and their purses and their drink cups and their snack bags while they're all off getting fucked.
Well, I wasn't off getting fucked, but I wasn't carrying anyone's anything.
No, but you had a dick in your mouth.
I did not.
Was it just in your hand?
Yeah, just in my
Okay.
hand.
From the angle I was at, because I guess she was doing it like this.
No, I was laying there and he came over.
Just plopped his dick in her hand. She's just like, whatever.
Well, all right. It was a friend. I'm like, I mean, what do you do? It's a friend.
You wouldn't have done it if it was a stranger?
No!
It's a sex club.
No!
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
It is,
Look,
but I'm
You are not supposed to walk up to random people and put your dick in their hand. If you are their friend and this is a pre-agreed upon action, then it is acceptable. Otherwise, don't put your dick in people's hands, Louis C.K.
And that does apply at sex clubs as well.
It does.
And every sex club
So-
will have that rule posted.
Yes, because going to a sex club does not give consent.
Nope.
Yes, that's correct. And they're very, very strict about that.
And they got people
Very
running around
strict.
all over the
They
place.
do. I pulled my phone out to send a text, and the security was like, "Whoop, no." And I'm like, I didn't even know there was security here. Like, were you hiding behind a curtain? Where did you come from?
Ain't a whole lot of places to
And he
hide
was-
down there.
Yeah, and he
either.
was like, immediately. He's like, no. So we went with a few friends, and one of our friends enjoyed their time at the club.
a lot.
And the first
I'm
time, our friend enjoyed the club. We were in this one room, and the couch, so four friends are on the couch.
It's the same room where the infamous circle jerk happened.
Yes.
Where the one friend was like, y'all can come on my leg. And it was like
And then
somebody hits
there's
a
like-
nut button.
Yeah, and then
they
there's
were all
like
just
12 dudes
"Ugh."
out like, oh my God. So this time I wasn't on that couch. And so I'm sitting on a different couch, like all by myself, and we're all talking. And the next thing I know, like things were happening, and then other things were happening, and you're just sitting there like on the corner of the couch, like, and you.
I looked over and suddenly there's a naked, hairy ass in my face. And I'm like, I recognize this ass. Oh, he needs help with his shirt. So I held his shirt up for him.
And so
Smacked his booty.
you guys are there, and I'm over on this couch by myself now. Too many guys had separated us. So now there's all these guys watching, ladies watching. Like I could hear things happening over there, and I'm sitting there, I'm like curled up on the couch in the corner, and I curled my legs up to the side, and I'm leaning there, and I'm like, all right, and I'm putting on my standoffish look, like don't talk to me, which I guess is the same look as my, hey, come ask if we can have sex look. And so it was like, boom, hey, you want to do something? No, thank you. Are you sure? Yeah, no, I'm good, all right. Boom. Can I touch your boobs? No. What are you doing at a sex club? I'm just hanging out with my friends. I'm just a watcher.
I'm here on purse and shoe duty, motherfucker. Purse and shoe duty. Someone has to be on purse and shoe duty. When a girl getting her booty, she got to count on her purse and shoe duty friends.
So bottom line, you guys, at least you got the experience that I had the last time where you're eye level with all of these peni.
Can we talk about one of these peni, by the way? One of these peni was attached to a very skinny, scraggly looking little white dude who
I know
was
which one.
Apparently he cannot masturbate with just his dick out of his pants. He must take off all of his clothes with the exception of
This is the best.
his main pair of socks. The second pair of socks he wears over those socks so that between the socks he can store rubber bands and lube and his shoes.
What an ingenious way to carry around lube, condoms, and rubber bands.
I shit you not, I watched him put on 3 separate rubber bands, wrap them around the base of his dick, wrap them around his balls, and then proceed to completely abuse his penis. I wanted to pull him to the side and say, honey, listen, don't be so mean to it. It'll be a lot happier if you would just stop, like, strangling the fuck out of it. Because he wasn't just, like, stroking. He'd, like, push it down and under and smack it and pull it way out. And I was like, this ain't no puppetry of the penis thing, dude. Just be nice. Be nice.
And I just got him from behind. Like, I just saw, like, the jerking act. Like, he's there, and all I can see is him and his ass. Because I'm, like, totally behind everyone. And I could see him,
he's
like...
totally like...
I'm like,
like,
I don't...
whoa,
Is he
tweaker.
having a seizure? I don't know what's happening.
He's masturbating.
And I was not about to dive through the men and their penises to, like, find out, you know?
Different strokes.
He put his claw... this is not even an exaggeration, you guys. I know that I am bent to making exaggerations, but this is not an exaggeration. I saw him enter the room with his dick out, and he was fully clothed. I looked back and realized my friend needed help with his shirt. So I gathered his shirt up for him to keep it out of the whatever juicy thing was happening. And then I looked back, literally in the time it takes to go, oh. Homeboy's butt fucking naked except for his loop socks. Like... how the fuck did... magical motherfucker. And then as soon as they, like, suddenly it was like something happened and the seas parted and, like, 2 of the 3 people that were doing things on the couch disappeared. And I'm looking at number 3 across the way, and he's like, I don't know either. And she's over there, and we're like, I don't know. And so we gathered up all of the belongings that got left behind, and we trudged them upstairs. It took us like 3 minutes to get everything gathered and back upstairs. Homeboy was outside upstairs fully fucking clothed again. I'm like, this bitch like Superman. He's like meth head Superman.
Oh, and he looked young, like he rode his skateboard there. Like he looked like he had a hat,
Oh,
too.
I know who he looks like. Do any of you watch The Outsiders? For any of you who watches The Outsiders on WGN-TV, which is a great show, it's about those mountain people. So there's the one mountain person who comes down and falls in love with the little black girl. He looked like that mountain person. That's what he looked like.
I remember The Outsiders with Matt Dillon, right?
No, not that one.
Isn't there Pony Boy or something?
No, not that one. A different one about Kentucky and Mountain Man, and it's all filmed in Pennsylvania.
Oh.
It's a really good show. Super, super good. I think you tried it and you didn't like it. So
yeah,
it's like American Vikings kind of.
It's one of the things about me that I really don't like is I just can't get myself around the accents.
No, if it's a British accent, she's fine with it.
I can go from far East Coast America over the pond. So like Boston's good, New York's okay, depending.
New Jersey.
You know? New Jersey's okay, depending. Unless they're using all the colloquialisms. If they throw all that crap in there, then I want nothing to do with them. But the farther east you go, the better it is for me. And I know that's something I need to change because I know plenty of people from the South that I love dearly.
But I don't talk with the twang no more.
So, back at the sex club, quick. You were up again. We all went outside while we were waiting for other friends to do whatever they were doing.
We had people scattered all over the place at this point. I was just like, let's just go outside, yo. We can see all of the points of ingress at this point. So when people are done, we can say, hey, and then they can come and meet us.
Yeah, so we hung out outside for a while. And
not on the hump boat, though.
No, not on the hump boat. This time we were just on a mattress or something, just
Sex
sitting
couch.
there. Yeah, something. So that's where I helped my friend out with his stretching needs.
Handy.
Apparently, it wasn't even it was just moments. But apparently I was warming him up for his.
That's true, because then things got twisty, and then he was gone, and then other people were back, and then there was a lot of
gone. So
there was a lot. It was like you would look up and be like new people there, and you're like,
yeah,
okay. So what happened?
Naked?
No, they'd all be fully clothed by the time they made it back to us.
Got it.
But then it would be like a weird, sometimes in a movie they'll cut away and then they'll cut back and they'll be like people in the same spots but different people. That's kind of like what it was.
That's what happened.
You would look away and talk to somebody and look back and 5 new people were sitting there and you're like,
Must have been a pretty happening night at the sex club.
It was a good night. It was a good night. And so then you were upstairs watching everyone stop still. And I'm like, well, I'm at least, this is when the friend that I warmed up for another friend, we walked downstairs just to see what was happening. And then that's when they took off. And so I'm in a room and they were doing a scene, like they roped it off. They had a guy hooked up. He had like a dog collar on and a chain. And so they were like holding him and then they put like a mask on him and they were all wearing masks. And
I missed all this?
You missed all that. But all they were doing was
duty.
just spanking him with their hand. Like the whole...
Toxi's like, I've seen kinkier shit at Sierra's living room.
I've been like, this is like a Thursday night for Sierra. I don't understand. Like, when is anything going to happen? And this like tiny little woman is spanking him on the butt. So I guess maybe the whole scene was the whole like hooking him up and, they kept pulling his leash.
It might have just been the physical dominance rather than the actual masochism.
Yeah, maybe. And then they put this mask that I don't quite know what it was. I don't know if it was like a...
Did it look like a
wasn't
dog
a full
face?
Gas mask. No, I've seen those.
Was it a gimp mask?
What is that?
It's just a leather mask that's got zippers.
It wasn't leather. No, I know what that is too.
Did it have
It was
attachments?
almost like a gas... No, it was almost like a gas mask, but it wasn't a big... It wasn't like you saw in Breaking Bad when you're making meth. It was like a smaller... It was a smaller one, maybe a little less meth. I don't know.
Like what you would see a painter wearing, like
maybe yeah, like a smaller one. Yeah.
Toxi. I am your vagina.
Darth Vader. Darth Vader. That's it. Or Vader.
Bottom line, by the time we left, we were the only two who were like
sober and totally unsexed.
Yeah.
Well, except for your hand.
Yeah, I mean, my hand did get a little action, but it wasn't much. So.
But did you go with the point of getting sexed?
Because
it sounds to me like you could have gotten sex.
She
I
could have.
Like
she, you know what? This bitch calls me. She's like, "Let's go. I'm just gonna have sex with a stranger," and I'm like, "Let's do it."
I'm like, yeah,
I am on
do it.
person shoe duty. I went with the express intent of staying sober so I could keep all of the equipment in one location or at least totable.
And to drive
I
home.
just
right.
can't do it. In mind, it sounds like a great idea. Like, who doesn't go to a sex club and have sex with a stranger? In reality, I just can't do it. So.
Well, what about
you
that?
try.
What about that old guy that had like no neck and like 8 foot of beard?
Dude, he was the first one to ask.
No. He walked up and he was real smooth too. He leaned on the railing because we were sitting right next to the railing that you used to walk up the stairs. And he's like trying to be smooth and he takes her hand and he's all like. Of course, he didn't move his neck, only his whole body moves because he's apparently had a couple of spines fused. He was like 102 years old. He was the sweetest little old dude.
He was so nice. I mean, and he was very polite about it when I was like, no, I'm okay, thank you. And like, are you sure? Thank you. And he kept circling back around again just in case I changed my mind. And even downstairs in the room, he came over and he's like, you doing good? I'm like, I'm doing great.
Oh, that was nice.
So he was very nice.
Now you have a great story to open 2018.
Yes.
Right? I hope you recorded this in your bujo.
I did record that I went to the sex club with Toxi.
Make me make some little bullet notes.
I'll put that in my in the land of my mind or in the mind of my land or whatever it is. My other journal where I keep that stuff.
And you went with the intent of getting laid and didn't quite make it. So maybe the next time you go with the intent, you might make it.
I doubt it. But I love the thought of it. Like, I love the whole thought. But really, I'm more of a watcher. So.
What if you went in costume? What if you went with like a mask and
it's not
makeup?
That.
Or
it's not that.
No?
No, it's not like I feel I want to hide or.
What if you
know,
went just as a different person? Just pretend to be someone who you are
I
not.
do. I tell everyone my name is Toxi.
But that's half of who you are.
It is true. That is half of who you are.
I mean, I'll be honest. Like, I'm not really what happened with our Facebook.
Oh no.
Oh no. That's all right. We only got a few minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry,
6
Facebook.
minutes.
Aw.
I'll write a comment. Sorry, guys.
So, well, we just totally let that derail us. Anyway, so yeah, you should just pretend to be something and someone completely different. I can teach you how to do an accent, pick an accent. We'll spend a couple of weeks working on it. We can go as sisters. That is believable enough.
Well, you know, I busted out my girlfriend thing.
That they all use that when they don't want to get laid by somebody. Apparently, I'm the butchest one in the room, so they'll be like, "Well, my girlfriend's not really gonna let me have dick tonight," and I'm like,
totally used
"She
that.
did use that." I believe I did. I told the one dude, I was like, "I'm a lesbian tonight," and he was like, "Oh, so that's how it's played." I'm like, "Usually, yeah." I'm the lesbian this evening.
Any ideas of when your next
sojourn
will be?
Soon. I want to go back. I have so much fun when I go. I really am more of a watcher. It is a lot of
fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun just to sit back and watch.
Yeah.
And to take bets.
Right.
Bodybuilder, transgendered. Sometimes it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
There was one that I don't
so
think we ever
nice.
got a final notice on. No.
And my friend kept asking. Like, my friend wanted to know. And he was like, I mean, come on. Is she? Is she not?
I would have laid down money that she... Well, I actually couldn't have laid down money on that. There was no way. I was even 50-50 split on that one. But we played pool. We played doubles pool with them. They were pretty cool. She was super sweet. Really tall. It was like Night of the Tall Girl in there.
Yeah.
Like, there was some well over 6 foot tall ladies in there.
I love that you meet, like, so many different individuals from different, like, walks of life. You know, sometimes we talk to people and they're super professional and you're like, wow, that's really what you do for a career. Like, that is super cool. And it's just nobody that I probably would interact with or would have had the opportunity to bump into at any other time.
And then there's the skinny little white meth head dude who's jerking off with lube in his socks.
He's probably a multi-billionaire that runs.
No.
Yeah, he probably created an app and he's like rich as fuck.
No, because he'd have somebody else doing that with rubber bands to his dick if he was.
Not if this is his thing.
Every
Yeah,
what is
it could have been his
You've
thing.
even said this to me. Everybody has their own thing.
Different strokes, different folks.
He was not stroking. He was beating the shit out of that poor thing. I did not want to kiss it and make it better, but I did want to tell him, yo, like, dude.
It was kind of cool to watch from behind because honestly, like, all I could see, I didn't know exactly what was happening. He was just like...
From the front, it was even more disturbing.
And I got to see his tiny little butt.
He did have a tiny little butt.
Yeah.
Speaking of making memories and recording in your bujo, didn't you just make a new thing in your bujo? How much time we got?
We got like 5 minutes.
Okay.
3.
Whatever.
2.
You know what? Time does not operate correctly in your sphere of influence. It was just 5 minutes ago. So, yes.
You missed the 3 minute.
What? Which happened apparently 3.5 seconds after the
Now
5
it's going to be 1 minute.
I created a new spread because all the ladies are doing it, and why not jump on the Bujo bandwagon with a bleeding vagina spread. Ooh, that's what I'm going to add on there. It's got a bunch of little doodles with things that, like it's a red
There's
wave.
a shark penis.
It's a shark because it's referred to as shark weave. It's just a big red period. I got the pool of blood down here. Some pretty...
It's like the Walking Dead attack.
Well, and this is when you sneeze. Like it's everywhere, right? Although I'm now going to have to draw a bleeding vagina. But so I was trying to come up with a title for this that was something other than period tracker or Shark Week or Lady Time or whatever the fuck else everybody else was been using. So I Googled colloquialisms for menstruation and came up this page that was, you know, a bunch of different ones in different languages. And one of them, and I think it was in German, it translates to there are communists in the Funhouse. And so that is the name of my period tracker. There are communists in the Funhouse. Because
I love it. I love that.
I started laughing so hard when I read that. And I was like, well, that's it. I found the name for my Lady Bleedy Vagina time tracker.
You don't have a key on yours for like flow days. So when you're tracking, you just mark the days as opposed to if it was a light flow or a heavy flow.
No, because I'm on and off. Like that's it. There's I have no cervix anymore, so it just floods out. It doesn't trickle anymore at all.
I saw one tracker and it was lines for light day. No, it was dots for light day, lines for heavy day, and the one that was just filled in all red was how am I still alive?
Yeah, that would be all of my days.
Hey,
I did
really?
fill one day in half because I started like in the afternoon instead of it being an all day thing. So that's probably all I'll do.
Guys, the BBW Winter Bash is coming, the Excellence BBW, February 8th through the 11th, and it is at the Tuscany Suites and Casino.
Love the Tuscany.
You will want to go to Excellence,
EXLENCE.com.
or BBW, Excellence BBW.
Okay.
You can find it on Facebook. You can take a look and plan to be there.
We'll be there. We will be broadcasting either Friday or Saturday.
Yep. I'm Elexia.
Toxi.
And Sierra.
And we will see you next week.
If you're brave enough.
Later, bitches.